was in Seattle. Why not just go on another trip since I'm here?
I know it sounds crazy, but with my flight benefits, I can travel anywhere Alaska flies on standby, and I like to take advantage of that. So here we go. I took the red eye flight from Seattle to Raleigh, North Carolina, and I knew it was going to be a rough night, but I thought it was worth it to wake up the next morning in a new place where I could have a new adventure.
I definitely did not get enough sleep, but we're here. 3 hours of sleep is better than nothing, right?
At this point, I needed to go to the parking garage and find my rental car. I used Turo this time because it was quite a bit cheaper than the alternatives.
I'm already getting my steps in today just to find this rental car. So I got breakfast at Walmart, brushed my teeth at Walmart, bought a car charger at Walmart. I should probably sleep here too, because I only slept for about 3 hours, but I'm gonna see about renting a bike. I'm back on a bicycle, this time in North Carolina. We have a nice greenway right here. It's beautiful.
The Neuse River Greenway Trail is paved, it's mostly flat. You can ride it for about 34 miles. It's got beautiful bridge crossings and views of the river. There were some deer on the side of the trail. I really enjoyed my time on this trail. After my bike ride, I drove 3.5 hours toward the coast and checked into my campground where I was planning to spend the night.
Wow, that's not that great.
It wasn't the best place I've ever been, and of course I didn't have a tent, so I was planning to sleep in the car, but for $40, it wasn't the best night of my life.
I don't recommend sleeping in cars.
The best way to redeem the situation is to drive away and find a beautiful place. And that's just what I did. The beach was not too far away. It was amazing.
This beach is so pretty. The sand is really soft and nice. The water is warm. There's people surfing out there. And there's dolphins! Like, in the water! could stay here for hours, but haven't had breakfast yet.
I got some yogurt for breakfast at, you guessed it, Walmart, and headed out to my next destination, Cape Charles, which required me to cross the Chesapeake Bay Bridge and go through the tunnel, which I had wanted to do. It was basically the whole reason I came here.
You can't really see it from here, but back that direction, I crossed the Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel. It's really long. There's actually 2 tunnels that you drive through. Okay, so the Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel is 17.6 miles long, and it was built in 1964. Before that, they just had ferries crossing the bay. So it's a really long bridge. And I guess it's considered one of the 7 man-made wonders of the world. This is the best sand I've encountered in the past few weeks of traveling. There's a super shallow sandbar out there. It's a good swimming area.
Cape Charles is the cutest little beach town. I probably would have stayed longer if I hadn't been by myself, but I had itchy feet, so I drove back over the bridge again and made my way to Norfolk, which is another larger town, but really pretty. It's got cobblestone streets in the old town section and lots of brick buildings and beautiful things. This city is known for being the largest naval station in the world. I took the ferry from Norfolk to Portsmouth. I highly recommend looking for a water taxi or some kind of ferry in whatever city you're visiting. It's a super economical way to get out on the water. The Hill House is a really cool museum. I was able to get a private tour because nobody else was there. There are lots of really interesting places here, including the MacArthur Memorial, which I loved to read all the information. I learned so much. It's just a beautiful city.
At this point in the day, I have walked too far. Imagine that. Really tired, really hungry, but I mean, see why I ditched the car and went for a walk? Okay. Cool place. And now it's time to make a beeline back to North Carolina because I need to fly home tomorrow. Yay! Last night, Airbnb was much nicer than my first night. Sleeping in the car was okay. My seat laid totally flat, which was nice. And the campground had a shower. So it was doable, but for $40, the campground, I only paid $56 for the Airbnb. So $16 more gave me an actual bed to sleep in. and an air-conditioned house with a fan. Sometimes Airbnb pulls through.
I spent most of the next day driving back to North Carolina and wandering around, but this forest is pretty close to the airport and it's kind of a hidden gem out here. There's a beautiful lake and plenty of trails if you have time for hiking.
Here it is. I hope that was worth running a mile. It's pretty cool, actually. It's beautiful. And she's back. Dropped off the car. Zooming to my, well, gotta go through security first and then to the gate. Good vibes.
It was a really quick trip to the East Coast, and I'm pretty tired, but I think I'll say it was worth it all.